Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm an American. I'm going to be reacting to this video called My First Experience Using the NHS, the National Health Service. Did I get that right? Let me make sure real quick. National Health Service. Yeah, I knew that. By Not Quite British 18. Shout out to Not Quite British 18. Dang. 137,000 views on this video. But she only has 921 subscribers. Go subscribe to Not Quite British. Let's watch this video. My first experience using the NHS. That would be extremely scary. Very intimidating, first off. Getting injured or needing help in another country, especially as an American, like, I would just have no clue what to do.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim, and this video will be about my first time using the NHS.
Okay.
So the NHS, for those of you who don't know, stands for the National Health Service. It is the public healthcare system here in the UK. So I will be talking about my experience and in comparison to my experience using private healthcare in the US. So the first time I used NHS was actually a few years ago. This was before I moved to the UK. I was here visiting and I had gotten sick. So I didn't want to go to the hospital. So I decided the best thing to do was go to the local GP's office. So I called the office.
Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Let's go.
And I decided the best thing to do was go to the local GP's office.
General practitioner? Is that what that means? GP?
I want to go to the hospital. So I decided the best thing to do was go to the local GP's office. So I called the office and I was able to get an appointment within a few days.
It makes me curious. Do you guys have urgent care? That's where I would go. That's where I typically go if I'm just sick. I mean, usually I put it off and put it off and put it off for weeks. And then I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not getting better. I'll go to the urgent care. And with insurance, it's usually like $50. And you can get some antibiotics, steroids, you know, type of stuff.
I was told that I had to pay a fee because I wasn't a citizen. But I was fine with that because...
Damn, we can't catch a break here as Americans. Even in the NHS, we have to pay a fee. I mean, that makes sense. Obviously, we're not paying taxes into the system. We should not be given free health care.
So I went to the GP's office.
I wonder how much the fee is.
And I had to fill out some paperwork, my name, the address where I was staying, and any medications I was taking, along with any medical issues. That makes sense. So after filling out this paperwork, I had to sit in the waiting area. There were other people waiting as well. And I noticed that there was a display screen. And when it was time for someone to be seen by the doctor, this display screen would have the person's name. I'm laughing because
this just instantly gave me a flashback to that one comedy skit with the lady in the waiting room. I reacted to it a while ago. A British comedy skit. It was very funny.
And room number. So I had never seen that before at all in my experience with using healthcare in the U.S. Usually what happens in the U.S. is that a nurse comes into the waiting area, she yells your name, Kimberly, and then...
It's kind of barbaric. Like, I don't know why we do that. Why don't we just have a TV?
You know, you walk back with her, and then she takes your weight, heights, and blood pressure. After that, she walks you to one of...
I think the TV would be better for the patients and the nurses. Nobody likes going into a room. Kimberly, hello. Like... It's ridiculous. And as a patient, I want to see where I'm at in line. And I want to make sure they didn't forget me. That's nice.
The little private rooms where you're actually seen by the doctor.
Okay.
And then you have to go in there and wait again for the doctor.
Yeah, so same here in America.
Things that annoys me about using the healthcare in the U.S. is that you have to wait twice. So you wait in the waiting area, and then you wait in the small private room to be seen by the doctor.
Oh, I'm sorry. She was talking about America. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I remember one time I was waiting so long that I got bored and I got kind of curious about like some of the
Yeah.
in the
You check out what's in the office. You know, you go through all the things, get your dirty hands all over their fresh cotton balls and stuff. Oh, yeah.
little rooms. They have like drawers with
Uh huh.
different medical equipment and things in there. Or not really equipment, but
Every American has been there.
little medical tools. So I noticed in one of the drawers there was a like one of those reflex hammers they use to like hit your knee and check your reflexes.
Yeah.
So
Might as well check your own while you're waiting.
I thought to myself, I wonder if I can hit my knee and my own knee and if it will kick out. So I actually did that while I was waiting. I probably shouldn't have reached in the drawer and got the reflex hammer, but I did that and my knee kicked out.
I mean, for how much you pay, I feel like you can do whatever you want in there.
So I found out I had good reflexes and that I could actually use the hammer on my own knee. Anyway, so yeah, one of the things that I did like about using the NHS was that the doctor was already in the room. This was amazing to me because, like I said, this
Interesting.
never happens in the U.S. and the doctor.
So he's waiting on you. Very interesting. Here in America, it's definitely like you are to be there early. First of all, 15 minutes early to do your paperwork. You better get it done. And from there, you're waiting on them. It doesn't matter that you had an appointment. It could be 30 minutes late. And then once you get in, like she's saying, there's no telling how long you're waiting in there for the doctor.
Doctor was already in there. It's almost like the room is his own private office. He has a computer in there. A desk
Oh,
in there.
you go to his room. So in America, they're walking around to every room.
In the U.S., that's usually separate. They do have the little private rooms where you're seen by the doctor, but then usually the doctor has another like personal office down the hall somewhere else. So it looks like using
It kind of makes sense now that I hear that. Like, it's just kind of a more efficient use of space.
NHS, they kind of combine the two.
Yeah.
So like I said, the doctor's already in there, which was amazing. So we talked about 10 minutes about some of the symptoms I was experiencing, and he was able to provide me with some medication.
Cool.
And so the other convenient thing was I like the fact that the pharmacy, or I think here they call it the chemist, it was already connected to the GP's office.
First of all, that's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna let her finish. Well, I wanted to say the chemist thing always makes me laugh. It makes me think of back in like the dark ages when people used to mix potions and stuff and do bloodletting and stuff. Like the chemist. I don't know why it makes me think of that. But it's a cool name, the chemist. I'm gonna see the chemist. It's kind of scary.
So I was able to
But the fact that the pharmacy is in the hospital, you just get your drugs right there.
get the prescription, walk it over to the pharmacist, and I was able to get the prescription filled within, I think it maybe took about 30 minutes or so. It really didn't take too long, and plus I was willing to wait for it because I needed to get well.
Yeah, no matter how you cut it. I mean, of course you're going to have to wait because you can't fix that. They've got to fill the prescription. The chemist has to fill the prescription, make sure it's all right, sign off on it, whatever. I don't know why it takes them so long, to be honest. They're mostly just counting some pills, but they got to make sure it's right. And yeah, here in America, you'd be sent. Basically, you would go home. You'd tell them which pharmacy you wanted to go to. The CVS down the block. You'd be waiting like 2 hours. Then you'd call CVS, be like, "Is it done yet?" They'd be like, "Yes, no." Then you'd go to CVS, wait in line, pick it up, then drive back home again.
So I got the prescription, and I took the prescription for about 2 days, and I felt so much better. So that was my experience using NHS. It was a positive experience, and I was able to feel better for the remainder of my time.
I do have to say, just immediately also, really important fundamental thing is that, like, here in America, you're told in these other countries with universal health care, you're not going to be seen by a doctor. Like you got to wait in line. The lines are hours and hours and hours long. And the same for surgeries and stuff. And so right there, most important takeaway is like, that sounded pleasant. Overall, there's some differences, none of which really were significantly, like, it's interesting differences. But the most important takeaway is just she was able to be seen by a doctor that day, get her prescription right there in the hospital, and leave. And she was better. Like, that doesn't sound so bad. Sounds pretty nice.
Or my visit in the UK. But this was my experience, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Heck yeah. I'm going to have to look up more. I know there's more videos like this. My first experience using the NHS, that was super interesting. And there's plenty more. I guarantee there's plenty more to learn. She didn't go into that much detail, to be honest, but there were some interesting little details there. Thank you so much for watching. That was super interesting. Subscribe for more reactions like I react to Europe and the UK and stuff like that. Anyway, you already knew that, or some of you did. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.